Hello viewers, and welcome to today's recording. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. So far on my channel I've been putting time-lapse videos and doing some tutorials, and what I'm finding is that I'm spending a lot of time on my YouTube channel putting up new videos, spending quite a bit of time in post-production, and what I'm finding a little bit is what I'm missing is the time that I used to have to do the number of paintings that I was doing. And I kind of feel like the paintings themselves are what's most vital. The reason why I wanted to get onto YouTube is because I've been on Instagram and quizzed my followers a little bit, and what most of them are interested in is learning about how I painted. Because the medium is so visual, I was putting up very quickly process and work in progress photos and showing lots of close-up shots of detail of the paintings that I was doing, and put in little notes about what I was thinking. And I thought in YouTube I could show a little bit more about what I was thinking and show more what I was doing. And what I'm finding is that the amount of time that I'm spending on those videos is taking away from the painting time, and I also feel like I'm also maybe missing a little bit about what I'm able to do in terms of showing you what I'm doing. Part of it is that I'm shooting these time-lapse videos with my iPhone still. I'm looking at trying to figure out whether I should get a DSLR camera or a camcorder to film my painting process. I've also am thinking a little bit about doing more YouTube live. I haven't done any yet, but that may be another way of breaking that little bit of that wall that exists between me producing in my studio and trying to get a little bit of information out about what it is I'm thinking about and what it is that I'm doing. So this is a little bit of an experiment. I wanted to do a little bit more of like a rough cut, which that cut I may turn into a more produced video later. But I also wanted to be a little bit less scripted. I'm probably going to do very little in terms of cleaning up my voice in this. My past videos I spent a lot of time using Adobe Audition, taking out all the ums and uhs. So the point of this is it's going to be unscripted. You get to hear me sort of stutter a lot, which I do. I'm a little bit of an introvert, so it's hard for me to talk into a microphone and feel very comfortable. So I may be doing an okay job so far, but maybe just because I'm feeling nice and relaxed right now. So I'm working on probably the rough cut of this time-lapse showing right now is of a young girl, but this image is from Sketchy. I've mentioned them before in my previous videos. She's sitting at a table with her father, and there's lots of orange light bouncing around from the photo. I am going to put the photo up here even though it is rough cut, so you get an idea of what it is that I'm painting from. And that orange light is just bouncing around into the shadow side of her face and creating all these interesting optics. Actually very similar to another painting that I just did called Balloon Boy, where he's holding up a big orange balloon and all that orange is bouncing back into the shadow side of his face. So these two paintings seem to have a lot in common, both the age of the subject and all the reddish and orange light that's bouncing around. So what I was saying is that I was finding it hard to produce videos at the same time as producing these paintings, which should be the subject of the video, and also finding difficulty of getting information out to my potential viewership. I'm a very small YouTube channel right now. I have less than 500 subscribers. I think what's important is for me to experiment a little bit and try to figure out what it is that my potential audience is looking for. I can just do time-lapse videos endlessly, but I just think that they get kind of repetitive after a while, and it doesn't really bring true value to people. It doesn't really show you how to paint, doesn't give you a lot of technical information. And so what I wanted to be able to do is kind of leap that void and say things which I think in a way my more produced videos do get to a few key points, but they do take a lot of time to produce, and so it's a little bit hard to get there. So in this rough cut, I think one thing I need to do sometimes is just post it somewhere and say, here it is, here's where I'm going, here's what I'm thinking, this is a work in progress, and you then get to share with me a little bit about how the painting has progressed, not just seeing it in a time lapse where you're seeing each part incrementally in fractions of a second, but really get to have the feel of what it is to be in the middle of this process. And so, like I said, this is an experiment. You guys can comment and say, I didn't like this video so much, or you could say, yes, do more of these because I feel like I'm getting a little bit more of your thinking, and maybe it's a better way of transferring information. I mentioned in an earlier video that I wanted to do a posting about my palette, and I actually started on a voiceover for that, and I just felt like I just need to redo it all over again. I kind of rambled on in it a little bit like I'm rambling on now, but I wanted to say specific things about how I construct my palette, and I felt like it really wasn't succinct enough, and so I may do that again later on at some point later when I have a much clearer idea of what I wanted to say. So that being said, I'm not sure I've said a whole lot here right now except for this being kind of a vlog, and that look for more videos in the future where I'm just going to talk a little bit more about my working process and maybe show you more raw footage that may end up in a more polished video later on. So thank you, and like I said, let me know what you think. Bye.